Now, Resident Evil has been one of the gaming world's biggest success stories, not only consistently one of the best and most respected games, but we all know it's even spawned a popular movie franchise of its own, making it a true rarity and a global pop culture phenomenon. Now, Capcom comes to E3 2012 bearing Resident Evil 6, and you saw it at their press conference, but you're about to get an exclusive demo right here on our stage. Miguel from Capcom is here to do that.
Hello, Dan.
Thanks for joining me, Miguel.
No problem.
Resident Evil 6 coming into E3 is huge.
Yeah.
And we're going to see brand new footage and brand new story elements. Tell us a little bit about what we're going to see.
Okay, so this time, Resident Evil 6, we got 3 protagonists, so you don't just follow one storyline, you get to follow 3.
Right.
You have Leon, Chris, fan favorites, and a new character, Jake. Some people also calling him Wesker's son, as we have revealed already. And Jake is a unique character because he doesn't fight the way other characters do in this game. He's got a few extra special moves that none of the other characters can do. So I think fans of the series will welcome him as a new addition, something special to play as.
Yes, now we saw Leon gameplay during the press conference, but now we're going to see him right here. Walk us through exactly what we're seeing.
Okay. What we're trying to do is trying to create with the 3 protagonists different types of horror settings, and one of the most classic elements of Resident Evil has been the Nemesis creature. Jake himself is being stalked by a gigantic creature called Ustanak, and you have to pretty much outrun that creature for a lot of Jake's story. Right now, he's in fighting some of the new enemies we have called the Juavo. Of course, the traditional zombies will be in Resident Evil that everyone wants, but these are a new enemy. They're a little smarter. They can use weapons, and Jake has got to fight them first.
Right. Now, obviously, part of introducing these new characters and these 3 different ways to play you guys talked about is distinct play styles. A lot of people think maybe Resident Evil has veered towards action in recent years, but there's a lot of survival horror elements as well, right?
That's very true. With Jake, you have some special weapons available to you. Some classic powerful weapons will be strewn around stages, but you do have to manage your ammo, and you can't just fire wildly and hope you can find bullets wherever they are. Jake also can use hand-to-hand combat. He's one of the few characters that we've ever designed that will be able to do that. So you can switch from his weapons using any type of machine gun or pistols, or go to hand-to-hand combat.
Right, and you talked a little bit about the 3 different characters, but each one has an accomplice as well on their journey through the story, correct?
That is true. They each have a partner character. Jake's partner is Sherry, Sherry Birkin, you might remember from Resident Evil 2, which took place a few years ago. So she's grown up, and she's become a successful agent in her own right.
Right. So the partner characters, is that a co-op experience, or is this something just on the single-player side, or?
That is a co-op experience. Awesome. You can play alone if you want, and the AI will control the partner character, but we recommend that you play with your friends.
Right, and like you said, distinct play style, so when you go through the game, I mean, there's really kind of 3 games here in terms of how they're going to play out. Story-wise, how are their perspectives different?
Okay, all the stories will intersect at different points. Each character follows their own story, and if you play, say, Jake's story, from start to finish, you get Jake's story, and you can just enjoy that and stop playing. But we want you to play all the characters and enjoy all their stories. They will cross over at different points and intersect, and you'll be able to see the story from different points of view. So, our director just died. Classic, yes. You are dead.
Sasaki-san is actually playing the game backstage for us, which is amazing. We see that the game is going to be available this October. And talk a little bit more about the character interaction, obviously, from a story perspective. Where does it take place in regards to Resident Evil 5?
This takes place a few years after Resident Evil 5. It's set in 2013. A lot of our Resident Evil games, as fans know, we try to set them as close to real time as we can. So the characters do age, which is probably rare for a lot of gaming franchises.
Right. So talk a little bit about the difficulty level as well. Obviously, we just saw a character die, but what are you trying to do here in terms of reaching a new audience, but also appealing to that hardcore gamer who's been with the franchise for a long time?
We're trying to give everyone the opportunity to enjoy this game. Right. So we're hoping that for new players, they have the weapons, the tools they need to play this game. We want to make it more intuitive. The controls are more organic. I think, you know, in the past, the controls weren't always what everyone wanted them to be. I think we've really got them to where they should be. The director himself, Sasaki-san, he's been following all the gaming trends, seeing where action gaming is going, and he's trying to incorporate a lot of those elements that people assume you should have in an action game into Resident Evil 6.
A very cinematic sequence unfolding right before our eyes here exclusively on our All Access stage. But did that help in the fact that you have 3 different stories? Were you able to craft more precise stories that you wanted to tell, more action-packed moments within all 3 of them?
Yeah, that's exactly what they wanted to do. It seemed the development team themselves had so many different ideas, they didn't know where to go, and eventually they decided on, well, why don't we do all of them and try and merge them, and then that way you don't have to force gameplay on certain characters and make it feel awkward. We can just match the gameplay to the character and their story, so everything feels more synthetic, more natural in that regard.
Right. All right, well, it's looking awesome, Miguel. We really appreciate you showing us Resident Evil 6 here on the stage. Now,